it's had less to do with them and more to do with their opponents. But this is the opportunity. You need these sort of wins to get that belief behind you. And as teams like Team Queso have proven, it doesn't take long for you to become a hot commodity in the region.
Yeah, you can't just sit in the lower bracket feeling sorry for yourself. You're there, you just have to take whoever's in front of you. It's Dignitas, really tough competition, but they have been beaten, and they've been beatable recently. Queso beat them twice last event, Misfits have beaten them twice between last event and this one. So if they're doing it, then LG have got to do it as well. That's already a good shot by Atomic, because Scrubs saved it, kept it under control in the corner. Another great chance for Toxin. He will put that one on target past the keeper. Dignitas on the back foot early, not a lot of boost for the whole team, and LG keep the pressure up.
Well, something that Dignitas were vulnerable against in the early stages of their lower round 1 match yesterday. They were getting a lot of boost starves put up against them. Something that they do want to avoid should they get stuck in their own side of the field. It'll be very interesting to see who's playing at what level. Dignitas is one of the more fluid teams when it comes to team positioning, who's expected to step up, who's in third man, who's trying to create the opportunities. Yesterday it was apparently Jack that was tearing through everybody. But we already know the skill and ability of everybody else on this squad. It could be any of the other two. If required, this is a difficult spot for Jack, and he gets a good enough challenge. Avoids the ball heading into his own net.
This high line in defense, this aggression coming out of LG is so important against Dignitas. You cannot just sit back and let Dignitas swarm all over you. You can't let them just set up those boost deals and demos in the final third, because once that attack gets started, it's almost impossible to get out. Dignitas are so fast with their recoveries. They're so efficient with their movement. But right now, LG are matching them in that regard. And as long as they can pick their battles wisely and just let Dignitas win the races to the ball when they're clearly getting there first, play off the touches, they've got a good chance here. And, perfect start. Being able to get that opening goal, definitely going to settle any nerves.
Those teams, these players, definitely ones that started to make their name known throughout RLCS Season X. Now, significantly more experienced. Ixo tries to find some way of setting up. You can already see they have a lack of support on his team. They're going to be very happy with this 1-goal lead. Do not want to leave a potential goalkeeper in a 2v1. As Jorius takes the first-time shot, that one goes wide. Awkward bounce for everybody. Ixo happy to take over, and this is what we're expecting to see here from Luminosity. Outright pace. Ixo, good stop from Jorius. Meant that Tox could not move forward. Jax wasted the first touch, couldn't scramble for a second.
Dignitas trying 2 counter-attacks now, long shots from distance, and Ixo taking one try at third man, Tox after him, both positioning deep enough that they can catch up to those long shots. So this is good stuff from Luminosity. Oh, Atomic almost getting out of position though, and it's off the post and the deflection from Jack. So we saw every player getting a shot at being third man there, and it was Atomic the first one to be slightly awkwardly positioned. Ixo though, able to collect the ball in the back wall. Atomic quickly all over Scrub, and that might be half a chance for Ixo. Apparently Jack gonna beat him to it. LG need to be careful now. Dignitas have got a much better position territorially. Who's starting to run out for LG? Abjack, he's just been blocked at the near post there. Looks like LG has survived.
Yeah, you could see so many half rotations coming out from Dignitas. They were happy to just swarm all 3 players over. Apparently Jack's still the target man in the midfield. Actually gonna have an opportunity to continue the play. Ixo just avoids the 2 orange cars that were encroaching upon him. Now Tox with Scrub Killer up, looking for it. Good first challenge from Tox. He now requires a bit of help. Atomic over towards the back ball. You can see Ixo getting bumped. That means this needs to be good.
Ooh.
And Atomic gets there in time. What a play. And now on the counter-attack, Atomic makes it 2.
Wow, that was so brave by Atomic. He just left the ball lingering on the goal line. Dignitas took the bait, and with no third man rotation coming in, long range open net for Atomic. Just finds its way into the goal from his own half there. That's perfect from Luminosity. Now they just need to try and hold on to this 2-goal lead. Pressing for that third against Dignitas is so risky. They've been trying to counter-attack today many times. With just over a minute left, LG I think are going to be quite happy to just let Dignitas come at them. Oh, Jorius accepts the invitation forward, and the top corner gladly accepts his shot.
Yeah, look at Ixo. He did not want to be jumping for this one initially. He would have preferred to let Jorius come to him, but had to avoid being here. Ended up figuring out, all right, I'm already in the air. I've got to go. And that was not a winning position. Dignitas right back into this game. Now apparently Jack looking to grab another one. We've already seen 1-2 goal lead disappear in the final few moments. Can Dignitas do what Guild just did? Oh, that's a huge demo. Scrub Killer had to cut across. Not a favorable position for it, but here comes Scrub Killer. Ball escaping away from him. 45 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, it's great work from Ixo, just keeping control and then even getting the demo on the next player forward for Dignitas. 40 seconds remaining. It really does feel like Luminosity are just hanging on here, but now a shot for Dapjack's going to find the same card that Jarius did earlier. Atomic was nearly there, but not quick enough. And Tox just... He just allowed Scrub into the near post area. They're far too dangerous from Luminosity. The lead is gone with 36 seconds left.
Luminosity have got to be so worried about these players that are just lingering in the midfield from Dignitas. No rush from Scrub Killer. His team's losing. He does not need to get back. It's made him so threatening as he became the target man. So, just over 20 seconds left now. 2-goal lead gone for Luminosity. Now the question becomes, can they bounce back? Apparently Jack over the top. Ixo needs to get there. Scrub Killer piling forwards. Does have Jarius. Ends up leaving it actually. Here comes apparently Jack, and Atomic once again gets the ball away over the top of Scrub Killer. That was equally as crucial as the save. But that's not a good ball actually from Tox. And he required one more save. Maybe don't hand those away in the future.
Yes, this booster running out there for Luminosity. It's what we talked about at the start of the game. When you let Dignitas forward like this, you never get boost. It's now Atomic, starved on the goal line. Jarius hits the post and then rebounds it wide.
Well, we keep going on, and I have absolutely no idea how. Jarius gets past the challenge. Eyes in the back of his head to see that one coming, but once again, player downfield from Dignitas. They've got targets, and Tox is struggling with the clears. Off the crossbar, and apparently Jack doubles up his goals and gets the comeback victory for Dignitas.
Huge mistake by Tox. Gives the ball to Jarius in close range, and there's no missing when the ball ends up on the goal line there. But yeah, he just had to control that or get rid of it. You can't hit the ball into the ceiling. That is a classic mistake with your back wall clears. And Dignitas, who were already, I think, in a good run of form at the end of that game, they didn't need any help to win it, did they? It felt like it was coming eventually. It's another nightmare start for Luminosity against Dig. This is, unfortunately, as chat have predicted, it's what everybody expects in this matchup.
Yeah, Luminosity, brilliant start from them. It was the dream start to this series, but mistakes were made, but lessons weren't learned. You know, we saw just before the overtime was even entered into, one wayward ball that hit the wall in the worst possible spot, almost set up Dignitas for an extra opportunity on net. And then we saw it again, the winning goal. But apparently Jack clearly is still feeling very comfortable. 10 shots from him in that game. Just happy to keep testing Luminosity. And despite the fact that Luminosity have had pretty solid goal line defense, there's only so much you can do until the ball is eventually going to go past. So have Luminosity got any answers heading into game 2? It looks like the last game escaped them in the second half. Whether or not they can bounce back within the minute between is now up to them. Or is it another trajectory towards another lower bracket loss to Dignitas? We're over to the Forbidden Temple. We're underway for game number 2. Johnny, looking at Luminosity, where did it start to go wrong? What changed in the second half of that game?
You know, it's just Dignitas being so effective in offense and really putting them under pressure, forcing them to waste boosts, making saves, and then sending another shot forward before there's any time to go and grab more boosts. So, you know, if they can up their efficiency in defense, if they can start to fight for those mid boosts and not have to rely so much in the back corners, which just keep getting stolen, then they definitely have a chance to survive the Dignitas onslaught. And they'd much rather just be on the front foot. The best defense against Dig is offense. You never want to defend against these guys.
Jarius almost saw the ball sneak into the top corner. Ixo stays around. A lot of players committed, but apparently Jack not too quick on the escape. Instead, just daring Atomic to come and challenge him. Jarius only as far as Ixo. Scrub Killer and apparently Jack. Wait to see who could take over. Apparently Jack, again, looking for his own challenge as Scrub takes his time. This corner can be so deadly when Dignitas gets set up. Infield, Jack to the net. And Atomic keeps it away. He's been the one called in more often than not on the goal line defense.
Yeah, Atomic putting in challenges when he needs to. He's making saves when he needs to. He's doing a lot for LG, but they're still so stuck in the goal area. Time and time again, the ball just seems to find its way there. Dignitas, such an awkward team to play against. They're slotting in these bumps off the ball. They're continually taking the boost pads away, the small ones as well as the big ones. LG in survival mode. Clinical shooting is going to be needed at this rate, as chances are few and far between.
Reminder as well that one of the goals that they scored was on the counter-attack. Managed to bait Dignitas in, but it's a risky strategy. It might be something that they might need to employ a second time. Tox floats the ball over the top of Scrub. First time shot. Atomic once again required just to try and get him up in the air, steal some boost. Good long-term play there from Dignitas. Tox realizes he's always going to lose that one to Scrub, but he does get a little bit of a swipe there, apparently, Jack. Slows Dignitas' offense down just a little bit. But how much longer can they keep them going? Here's Tox once again, and he's beat outright. This is now where the danger begins. When you lose one of those big rushing plays, Dignitas can start to swarm after the fact.
Yeah, you need to just say, fair enough, Dig, that's your ball in that kind of spot. You're going to get beaten to it. There's never a position where a Dig player is going to move to the ball inefficiently these days. Still, tie game with just over half gone. And no real threatening chances for Luminosity to speak of. So once again, they're just getting slightly beaten to the ball. Ixo trying to get a double tap there, accidentally lets it bounce middle. Small margins for Luminosity, but they are losing possession pretty quickly every time they get it. Dignitas much more consistently able to get those second and third touches on the ball, whether it's more touches from one player or passing plays. They are connecting the dots a bit more efficiently than Luminosity.
Yeah, for me, Dignitas just doing a better job of maintaining relevance to the play without committing to it. You know, keeping all the wheels on the floor, just forcing Luminosity to play around those players. As here is Atomic off the backboard. Big chance. Tox skies it, but that's two players gone. Where's Ixo? Couldn't figure out where he was required. It was a half chance there from Luminosity. It was unfortunate for them that the play was going away from Ixo. You're not going to get too many more half chances either.
Yeah, half chance is also their best chance they've had. And it really looks like the third man for Luminosity is only thinking about dealing with whatever cleared Dignitas send their way. They're not trying to get involved in the attack. They are definitely worried about the Dignitas counters. But can you score with just two players? They probably need to get all three involved. It's how they scored their only goal with offensive pressure in the last game. Dignitas are willing to do it. Luminosity, they've got to be brave here. 50 seconds to go. Ixo lands with no boost in the opposition half. That's going to be a while out the game.
We've already seen how Dignitas play when they are down. This is obviously a much more reserved version of their play style. Not willing to leave those players downfield, but it has been something that we've seen Luminosity do. Fox especially, just trying to give that option to his team. I'd like to see him play a little bit wider though. Has typically just been on the midfield line. Dignitas putting the pressure on. Crucial second touch there from Atomic. Get some breathing room, but you can see apparently Jack just staying around. And something that Luminosity, they've got to respect that there's a possibility of it. Here's Ixo, tried to fake out apparently Jack, and there's the receipt for even attempting it. Demoed, wiped off the field. We might have our second overtime coming up. A war of attrition here in game number 2. And we are going to need golden goal.
Dignitas offense slowed down a little bit, but I am seeing some controlling touches. They've realized that everything's being pre-jumped. All their air dribbles, all their high lobbing passes, getting pre-jumped by Luminosity. So they're just deciding to mix it up a little bit. Go for those dribbling plays. Something Dignitas have had huge success with in the past. And here come Luminosity. That's still target. Oh, what a save, but not far enough. Atomic slots it. And only 15 seconds into overtime, they tie the series. Scrub Killer just managed to sneak the first save onto the post. But Atomic's there for the rebound. Luminosity first to strike in OT.
And that was something that they were missing earlier on in the game. They had opportunities that were bouncing around, but didn't have the players. This time, Luminosity willing to take the risk, willing to accept that, yes, Dignitas could potentially escape if we get this wrong. But they knew that there wasn't going to be a better chance than that one. And Luminosity fighting back. And this is, as you mentioned, a much more controlled style from Dignitas, but this is a pace that you would choose to head into if you're a Luminosity. Out of all the ways you could play this match, this is probably the one you'd prefer.
I think so. You know, I do like to see that control from Dignitas. It's something that they're also good at. They're brilliant at bringing the ball down and forcing favorable 50-50s. It's something we don't see enough from them these days against the teams that are more comfortable playing that really fast pace, like Semper and Queso. You even have to throw Misfits in there. But I think Luminosity are actually quite, like I said, quite happy to just play that slow game versus Dignitas. So, although it's great to see Dig trying it out, I don't know if this is the matchup to do it.
Oh, Atomic takes his time and invites Jorius on. I want to give a huge shout as well to Atomic, not only getting the game-winning goal, but the saves that he's been doing. He's been asked a lot of times to make a save, and he's always clearing them to good positions. This one, not on the highlight reel. That was a bit of a mistouch from him, but apparently Jack, he doesn't ever do a mistouch. There's the follow-up, and Atomic does clean up off his own mistake. Could have been very dangerous. Dignitas still looking for their first goal in over 5 minutes. Atomic caught in yet again. We'll see if apparently Jack was off his line. Apparently Jack just able to stretch over to the ball. Oh, clatters into him this time around. Here's Atomic. Scored the winner last time. Couldn't find the shot this time. Head over to the other side of the field. Jorius had time, but he had no boost.
Yeah, Atomic's playing a great series at the moment. He's just being awkward for Dignitas to play against and doing everything his team needs of him, whether it's pressuring the ball, covering the third man position, you know, leading the attack. He's proven to be quite a difficult player for Dig to deal with. This is the new man for Luminosity this split, really adding a lot of unpredictability to the lineup.
Atomic couldn't run onto the shot, had to wait and pick his moment.
Oh!
And what a moment he picked. Realized no pressure coming towards him, and Atomic continues to shine.
Oh, that's such a good shot. He made it look as if he's waiting for the bounce. He made it look as if he's going to try and offload that, either with a pass or even a backboard hit. Full volley with the air roll. Top shelf. Atomic. The difference at the moment. Dignitas. Have to remember, this is a best of 5. We saw Guild already getting a win in Game 5 earlier on today. If Luminosity could just get into that position, then I'm sure even a team as experienced as Dig will start to wonder what is going on here. This doesn't look like the lower bracket run we had 2 weeks ago.
It's also crucial points on the line. I think that's one of the safer teams over in Europe, but as we saw heading into the last major, it's very difficult to lock in one of those top 5 spots. Look to try and do it here. Jorius. Reset secured, but ended up just bouncing off the ball. Jack straight up to scrub. That's not good though. Atomic wins the challenge. This is another good position, and again, it's off Atomic's heads-up play.
Yeah, just making sure to go a little bit faster than Dig are expecting. This is so key against Dignitas. You can't go back and let them have everything against you. That looked more like a pass than a shot from Luminosity from very close range. You'd expect that to just be ripped on net. Just over half the game gone. Dignitas haven't looked like themselves in the past 5 minutes, if you include the end of the last game. That all-out offense, the unstoppable attack that finished off Game 1, just a distant memory at this point.
Yeah, this is the good point now where we start to call it a goal drought. Almost 8 minutes of no Dignitas goals. Scrub Killer, he would love to get the bump, but Atomic just delayed it, and by the time Scrub could finally aim for him, Atomic able to just squeeze underneath and find the ball. Ixo again.
Oh!
No, he has! And Jack off the line, caught out and lobbed.
And he had 100 boost here. It's just mispositioning from Jack. I don't know if he expected Scrub to get a 50-50 here. I don't know if he thought that maybe this was going to be a tougher shot for Ixo, but really, that looks like just a straight up misplay. I don't know why he read that he could, or why he expected to be able to turn there. And now Scrub's completely out of position. Dignitas are falling apart here, Shogun.
Crisis management, I believe, is something that you said an awful lot last season, Johnny. And this is turning into a very big crisis for Dignitas. Already had that 3-0 loss yesterday to Misfits. Right now, they are proving that as good as their highs are, their lows might actually be the end of them in this tournament. Apparently, Jack looking for Atomic. Scrub Killer couldn't find it. Passes back to Jorius. And no contact made. Atomic just waits his opportunity, gets a good challenge, and it's right back to the attack though for Jorius.
Oh.
What a shot!
Perfect placement from Jorius. Dignitas desperately needed something. They were 2 down in game number 1 before they responded. And they've done the same thing in game 3. The pass as well from Scrub. Extremely tough for Luminosity to react to. Ixo is trying to throw himself in the way of the expected shot. Jorius places it well. Dig's still in this.
Well, the drought is done, and now you instantly start turning your thoughts back to game 1. 2 goals up. We're not able to hold it. Luminosity need a different result this time around. Expect to see a very aggressive Dignitas now. Scrub Killer takes the shot. Atomic, as always, player on the goal line, and now Tox clears it long. Apparently Jack called into action. Not the best first touch from him, as Tox can just hook back around and keep the play going. Takes his time, gets the challenge, gets the goal. Tox is unstoppable.
Well, you know, it definitely wasn't the best first touch by Jack, and then he's just flopped past the ball on the second try as well. No near post defense for Dig, despite 3 players being in the area. Tox easily 50-50s it into the top corner. That's a lot more than he expected from that position. When he took off to air dribble this, I promise you, he was expecting a 50-50 at best, but hey, Jorius is still scoring. You know, Dignitas are not putting it together as a team, but Jorius in the second goal of the game. Atomic misreads the ceiling bounce, thought it was coming down. It actually kicks out off the wall. And with 34 seconds left, we're back to a 1-goal game already.
Yeah, that was a mistake that they could have done without, as just as they started to feel a little bit more comfortable with the 2-goal lead. Instantly right back into the danger zone. Jack wants Jorius to go chase. Ixo now takes his time, picks his spot, loses the challenge. Who's going to be there first? Atomic. Quicker on the draw. Actually in a good spot to take this up into the air. It's going to waste a fair whack of time off the clock. Scrub, good challenge. Jack gets out of his reach. And now Ixo needs to guide this ball as far away from his net as he can. Only 13 boosts to do it. One more opportunity for Dignitas. That takes Tox out. Atomic, he's got players waiting everywhere for him, but he finds a way out. And Luminosity have a chance to eliminate Dignitas.
Just a little bit too comfy in the matchup in game 2. Dig end up losing it in OT, and that's probably a game that they thought there was no threat in, as the Luminosity really looked a bit toothless at the start of game 2. But Dignitas, they sat back, they stopped, you know, that all-out pressure that seemed to be working so well for them. And now that they've gone back to that style, they just can't put it together. They're missing, they're ending up off the line when long shots are coming in. They are just completely in their own heads at the moment. Facing double set point, this could be Luminosity's chance, not just to beat Dig, but to put themselves in a great spot for, you know, setting up that lower bracket momentum, maybe making a shot for the major.
Yeah, and if they want to avoid matches like this in the future, getting better seeding in future tournaments is massive for them. But if you want to get that better seeding, you need to beat some of these teams that are holding it above you. This is huge for Luminosity. Can they convert it into a victory? Gonna find out right now as we get into game number 3.
Yeah, Luminosity are playing a solid game. Dignitas have been uninspiring for the most part. Can they hit that run of form? Can they put it together like they did at the end of game number 1? We've seen it from them so many times in the past. Luminosity also, I don't think they've peaked yet. This is a team who can certainly step up even further than we've seen so far today. Atomic has been a thorn in Dignitas' side all game long. It's now double commit from Scrub and Appjack. They're awkwardly positioned. Appjack able to get the ball clear. That was not ideal from Dignitas again. They have not yet figured out their communication issues. This is a team that definitely relies a lot on communication. They rapidly talk to each other while they're playing, as I'm sure many of you watching are aware from the Dignitas videos that come out after every event. Luminosity getting a chance to see what the Dig backboard looks like from close range. A double commit, but Atomic actually gets the second touch on it. Can he put the third on target? Save from Jorius as he recovers quickly in a position. That was unreal from Atomic. They turned a double commit into a shot on target with a perfect mid-air recovery. And they've had by far the better chances in game 4, the game that they might win the series with should things continue going as they are. Atomic still such a threat that Dignitas have not been able to read. Tox gives Scrub the entire pitch to dribble with, and he centers it. Tox able to react. Not sure if he read the fact that Scrub had no boost or just decided to bide his time, give his teammates time to recover in behind him. Now Scrub, again going for that dribble. Dignitas don't want to hit the ball high into Luminosity. You have been ready for that. When Dignitas do try this, if they don't expect to be able to get something else after a clear, they're not going for it. Atomic caught in the midfield there. Dignitas have not been able to read this guy. It just seems to be getting worse and worse as Atomic settles into this series. Confidence is rising for Luminosity. Dignitas, honestly, a bit lucky to get away with not conceding until now, though. And it goes from bad to worse for Dignitas. Scrub kill it, trying to control the ball, does not clear it well. And how about that for a pass from Atomic? Tox slams the shot on target. And they lead by 1 goal. Just over half the game remaining. Atomic now.
It's the lobby now.
Still looking to be as unpredictable as possible. Threatening a flip reset. This is a totally different Luminosity to the one who led game 1. They got that 2-goal lead. They sat back. They didn't want to take any risks, but they've realized now staying on the front foot is ideal against Dig. Tox now. Last man back. No boost. Gets the save. And he clears it in a safe direction. Atomic's there to follow up. Deflects the ball towards Ixo. Luminosity finding each other in defense. They're not giving Dignitas quick interceptions. Utilizing those short-range passes to keep the ball in their own hands. Abjack in the back corner. He's going to try and slow this one down. Just about keeps control. He's used all of his boost just to force the 50 with Ixo. These are, you know, big investments from Dignitas, and they're not getting a lot out of them as time starts to dwindle. Yeah, Atomic in the backfield. He was on a bump on Jarius.
Johnny is intense. I've stepped in for Shogi. He's had to leave, and it could not be more close right now. This is about as close as it gets.
Yeah, you know, Shogun, as always, just about as reliable as Dig defense has been today. But Dig not done yet. They're only down by 1, despite struggling in this potentially last game of the series. All they need is that 1 goal, and you know that they're going to throw everything forward if it comes time to just throw caution to the wind. Backflip from Ixo. Atomic's there to cover him.
Atomic his scrub killer trying to close down Atomic. Apparently Jack has Jarius to the side. This is how Dignitas can break down Luminosity Gaming. These fakes as well, brilliant. Apparently Jack is there.
Oh.
He flicks it up. Scrub killer's arriving. Wants to get the slightest touch, but still not quite able to do it.
It looked like Ixo actually just let that ball drop because he didn't want to hit it into Scrub, who was pre-jumping. Really smart play from Luminosity again. Dignitas are looking in field, but they can't connect the passing plays together. 40 seconds left. Dignitas still trailing. Luminosity match point.
What a pinch that is, though. Dignitas still showing that they can just show so much creativity against Luminosity Gaming right now. Apparently Jack is in the corner. What's his clearance? Only as far as Jarius. He's pre-jumped for it. He's got a couple of touches. Wants to get one more, and he does get one more. And you can never, ever calm down against Dignitas.
Perfect first touch from Jarius. Baits the challenge in, and he's kind of faking a flip reset there, making it look like he's going to go for the close to the goal reset on the ball, which will be undefendable. Defender dives in, and then Jarius instead gets the light touch over him to tie the game. Heartbreak for Luminosity. Can they get back in front? Can they win the match? If you really feel like their split depends on it.
Suddenly it completely flips, and Luminosity Gaming are going to have to push forward as much as possible. Dignitas will surely feel they win this one from here, but Atomic is doing some good work, getting some demos, but Jarius has put himself clear again. There's a 3-player race for the ball right now. Looking like overtime is most likely, and that is where we are going to end up. Dignitas desperate to keep this series alive.
Back corner kickoff for Dig does work out. Scrub collects the ball. Tox didn't get a demo on him. Scrub actually demoing Ixo midair, but Atomic commits. Again, surprises Dignitas by doing so. Gets the boost steal as well. Ixo not going infield, decides it was too risky. Solo plays for the 50, and great block at the near post there from Jarius. Atomic was quick to the position. Jarius again making the shot on target. He is the one who's actually putting those shots on net for Dig.
Yeah, Jarius is causing all sorts of trouble right now to Luminosity, but they are holding on. So they need to do at this point, just survive for a few seconds, get themselves back into things. That touch from Atomic isn't too helpful, and Tox can only get it as far as the danger man himself, Jarius. Another couple of pops, and Ixo now onto the backboard, desperate to see it away. Dignitas really starting to wear into live. Scrub killer finds apparently Jack, but he's just gone past him, and still Dignitas have the attack going. Apparently Jack now, he puts it in, saved by Tox.
Dignitas just arriving far too close to the ball when the center comes across. Jack had an uncontested open net, but he was awkwardly too far forward, and he could not get the shot off. Dignitas still looking for the winning goal.
Just look how deep Luminosity Gaming are. They are penned back. No boost to show with it. Nothing to play with. Barely able to get the ball. Scrub Killer's coming forward now. He's scored some brilliant goals so far in this tournament. Wanted to get another. Now it's apparently Jack with a floor pinch attempt. Ixo coming in from the side, and a really important second touch as well. Should at least let them get some boost.
That's big plays by Ixo. Wasted a lot of time, even bumping a player off the ball to just buy his team even more time to grab boost, as they really do struggle to keep their boost totals at a high value when Dignitas attack them. Good Scrub Killer accepting the clear, just waiting for it to come to him. No rush for Dig. Tox actually lands on Joria's, demos him out the play, and the infield pass was open there. Tox did not read that 50-50 win, but he's got a big 50-50 win of his own. Joria's again the player for Dig to just take the ball and start working it towards the Luminosity goal.
I mean, that's what can happen when you're pinned back for so long. When an infield pass does come in that you could score from, you're not there for it. Ixo was there for that one, right on the crossbar. More sharp, fast passing from Dignitas, and Jorias goes solo now. 45 boost, there's a big demo as well. He gets that delayed touch too, but Ixo is wise to it this time. They've been watching and learning, seeing what Jorias is capable of, but he's always capable of more. This time it's the snapshot. Oh no, he's done a side flip! Dignitas get the win! They keep the series alive!
And the pressure gets Luminosity eventually. Atomic had boost there. He did not need to rush that play, but he panic flips and the shot goes in. Can you believe it? Dignitas are still in this series, but my goodness, that was a grind. Joria's had to pull a great shot out the bag to keep them in this one. Heartbreaker once again though for Luminosity. You have to feel bad for these guys. They just cannot get it together, even when they're in these strong positions.
It's heartbreaking. It's also just the pressure multiplied by so much yet again. The fact that one, that goal did eventually go in, and two, it went in the way that it did. You know, if Dignitas score a wonder goal against you, then you say, it's going to happen. Eventually they'll do it. But when you side flip on the goal line, when finally you've managed to get your reinforcements back on goal, that can really hurt them.
Yeah. They need this. Luminosity, if they're going to stay in the running, if they're going to, keep it in their own control, that major contention, they have to win the series. Dignitas obviously don't need that. They've already got a top two finish this split, but these guys, they want nothing but the, top twos, top ones, and I'm sure they're going to be satisfied with nothing less than a win in this matchup. Let's see how Atomic rebounds from this. It's so important that he just starts off consistently in this game after such a huge misplay, putting his team into this game 5.
All eyes right now on the man. We just hit the ball into the center, Atomic, as you mentioned, Johnny. He needs to step up very quickly, get a few touches on the ball, make sure there are no jitters. Going into the all-important 5th game. There is Atomic round the corner. Champions Field looking absolutely beautiful this time of year, in winter. Ixo to the backboard, and it's Luminosity Gaming that have started this 5th one a little bit better, I'd say.
Yeah, Atomic is definitely making some good touches early on in this one, which is important, like we mentioned. Jory is looking in field. See if he can connect to Jack, as Jack is just, again, very far forward. It's hard to offload the ball to him when he's positioned like this. I feel like, he just needs to settle down a little bit and just pull himself back, because we've seen him too far forward several times and unable to react to the plays that come towards him.
Yeah, almost again there. That one just made apparently Jack to a slight half turn before touching the ball, which is why it was defended a little bit more easily by Luminosity than it could have been. But that's better. Ixo, he's got a couple of touches on the ball. He's got the mechanics to get past Scrub Killer and then almost knock it past apparently Jack, who tees up a race between Tox and Jorias. It was won by Atomic, steaming in there to save the day. And then Tox gets a massive clearance, but there is a breakdown in rotation for Luminosity Gaming, who are now, after the better start, starting to show their nerves. And solo plays like that one from apparently Jack will really stop them calming down in this game.
Yeah, pressure's on, and this season, when the pressure's been on, Dignitas have responded well, but Jack skies a shot, and that's not a pass. Jorias is behind him, but Jack's hit it so far wide that there's no way Jorias can rebound that on target. Not easily, at least. Was that just mispositioning from Jack yet again?
Well, there's a nice catch there for him. He couldn't get any power on a snapshot, so instead tried to just gently loft it over the defense. Quite able to happen, but we're almost halfway through this 5th game, and still no goals have been scored. Every moment becomes more impactful because of it. Joreuz with another snapshot, trying to mix up their approach, which I like from Dignitas. Not just going solo with everything, sometimes sending Luminosity to their backboard, other times getting in these quick fire passes, going for bumps as well. Atomic was very alert and aware, knew what was happening, and can stop the danger, at least for now. And then Tox finishes the job.
Yeah, Tox has done well here. Controlling the ball and the back corner boost. Now looking for the pinch clear. It's denied. Scrubs 1v1 with Ixo. That's something we've seen many times in the past, this time in threes. Ixo keeps the ball out. He's had some great solo defensive plays. Now he's going all the way to the other end. He's off the bar and out. Ixo nearly goes huge for LG.
Oh, Atomic, though, he was too close to the ball there. Now apparently Jack has a pass to Scrub Killer, who puts it towards the net. Ixo gets the first block, then Tox away to the side where Joreuz is just waiting to the ceiling with him. The snap dodge there towards the goal. Joreuz is just desperate for this ball. He is still Dignitas' biggest danger man in this series. The Luminosity, they're breaking through more and more, Johnny. Starting to show some danger on the Dignitas net.
Yeah, Ixo with some huge solo defensive stands. They definitely are a triple threat team on their day. These guys have all made solo plays that have troubled Dignitas. As the clock just ticks down, you just wonder, will it be the same team that choked the ending? Luminosity through game 4 in a just straight up tied position. Here comes Ixo, doesn't have a flip to work with, just settles for the 50 mid-air. That's straight at Scrubkiller, who's got a lot more time on the ball. Tox reads him the entire way.
Yeah, he read him, but I think he took his teammate out of the game as well. They completely weren't sure whether Tox was getting that or not, so while it was a good touch, quite so good from the communication standpoint. Again, a double commit, but it was a good double commit, I guess, on the goal line, making sure that ball making it nowhere near the Luminosity goal. As 60 seconds is left on the clock, and that one might be sneaking in, but apparently Jack at the near post stops that happening. As a pass, though, Ixo, it's too central.
My goodness, Dignitas Scrubkiller really just with the biggest misplay of the game there, giving away possession, almost giving away an open net for Luminosity. In the aftermath, Luminosity start to look threatening. They're posturing a lot further up the field. Ixo's up for this, uncontested. Flip reset is there for him. Doesn't get back to the ball. Jack, redirect, does not make contact, and it's almost bounced in again!
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Wow! So many chances to clear that ball. Finally they took it, making it as scary as possible for them and their fans. Desperate just to get a clean touch on it. It's Joreuz though that's getting everything. Another one of these early touches. It's Scrubkiller that it falls for. Ixo charges him down. Can apparently Jack give Dignitas one more chance to avoid a Game 5 overtime? It's not looking likely. Tox just... It's Joreuz who takes it down. There's still danger here, Johnny. Luminosity now have a chance to make things happen, but they're not going to be able to. Game 5 overtime for Luminosity to keep their split alive.
Dignitas were quite happy with that one. I think smart move by Jack to just send that one into the ground. Time for Joreuz. Goes for the long shot. Just keeping Luminosity honest as Atomic deflects it into the back corner, saving a bunch of boost while doing so. So denied a second touch on the ball by Scrub's run ahead demo. And now, Joreuz playing that third man role. He's been so consistent for Dignitas, while Scrub and Appjack haven't had the best days of the office. This is smart for Joreuz to just try to back up his teammates. He seems to have a good read in the game.
But Luminosity Gaming have that ball way too much in their half. They'll not be happy about, but that's a clean clearance from Atomic. Which is too much angle on it. No one's able to follow up. Tox tries to. It just falls to apparently Jack. He has the solo ability. Joreuz going to put this one away, surely. Yes, he does. Dignitas take the Game 5 from the apparently Jack flick.
Well, Ixo did wonderfully to save this, but his entire team has ran ahead of him. They expected the ball to knock into the corner. No one covered in the infield off the post. And Joreuz, the man to slot the last goal. Dignitas did enough, but that really wasn't the cleanest win, and they're not going to be happy with that at all. I'm already expecting an Appjack tweet in about 30 seconds about how badly he played and how glad he is that Joreuz is on his team. Maybe the same from Scrub. We'll have to wait and see, but oh man. Per Luminosity, two events in a row where they've lost twice to Dig, twice to BDS. They're going to be looking back at that matchup with Guild in the group stage, thinking that's maybe where their season all went wrong. But even here, they had chances. And these are the chances you need to take. You need to win a series this messy. If Dignitas show up like this and you don't beat them, that's on you.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough loss there for Luminosity. But, when the format is this harsh, is this difficult to get through, you have to be able to beat teams like Dignitas. You are going to come up against the very best of the very best time and time again. And sadly for Luminosity, they just didn't quite have enough to get past Dignitas. So many overtimes in that series. There were 4 out of 5 in the game, so incredibly close. But Dignitas showed us why Dignitas are so revered and feared, and it's because they just constantly find a way to score goals.
Because they have Jorias, that's why. They have Jorias on their team.
And they do. They have Jorias. That is all they need. But what we need is the Deaths to break this one down. They'll be back in a few minutes to talk everything through.